What up, what up, what up, Unbreakable Kick Soul Army. Today is the day for the live stream on Whatnot. Again, make sure you click the link in the description section below. 6 p.m. going live. Got a lot of good stuff. I don't know if I'm going to do most of the stuff auction. I don't know if I'm going to do it bad now, but just know it's my first time on Whatnot, and we just going to try to have as much fun as possible tonight. Now, last night, I wrote down a topic as far as some of the things I want to talk about, because it's this terminology that it's like a knife, a warm knife just going in your heart and just keep pushing slowly and slowly and slowly. And that's the terminology bricks. These shoes are bricks. These shoes are bricks. And the only ones that really use that terminology are resellers. Now, I honestly cannot see how a shoe can be a brick. Sometimes even when it sells out, or, you know, resellers like to call a shoe a brick if it ain't going for $300 or $350, $400. It's typically a brick if it's valuing less than like $50 over retail. Most people call that shoe a brick. But it's two things I know for sure when it comes to sneakers. One is that sneakers never really sell out, and which we're about to talk about that in a second. And two, you can never underestimate the potential of a sneaker. Some sneakers may brick for a year, and then you turn around and look, and that shoe going $400, $500, $600, $700, and it just happened out of nowhere. And that's kind of where I wanted to start the video off. But that's kind of where I want to start the video off with these right here. But before we see these, Army, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are I'm low-key trying to hit 300K this year. I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there in the universe. I'm trying to hit 300K this year, so make sure y'all are subscribing to the channel. Now, with that being said, these joints right here, y'all know I love to talk about this shoe. We got the Air Jordan 4 Black Cat. Now, I'm not going to say this shoe brick. I remember doing orders for these, and I did orders, y'all already know, because I talk about it a lot, for $275. Now, in certain sizes, the Air Jordan 4 Black Cats is going 800 up. Some of them is inching towards 1,000. Now, that literally came out of nowhere. It's literally an all-black Air Jordan 4. Now, I spoke to Fine Line a couple days ago, and we was talking about just how these shoes randomly creeped up in price, and he also mentioned another Air Jordan 4 similar to these and how those creeped up in prices. But before we even continue to talk about that, let's talk about rule number one. Sneakers never really sell out. So if y'all got the alert like I got the alert, or if y'all probably didn't get as many DMs as me as I just received, but for some odd reason, Champs is showing that they will be dropping the Air Jordan 4 Black Cats again. What's the date? In 5 days, February 1st. February 1st, but it's only grade school. It's a grade school Retro 4 Black Cat countdown on Champs. Now, this is a countdown. This is not saying like it's going to be on an FLX where you got to do a reserve. This is a random countdown. Now, again, these joints dropped, like 2 years ago. So you mean to tell me that Champs been having some grade school Black Cats just sitting? Now, I don't know. You know, see, another just random theory just popped up in my head. And I hate to be the conspiracy theory type of individual when it comes to sneakers. But again, these joints is busting right now. I don't even know what grade school is going for when it comes to the Air Jordan 4 Black Cats. I know for a fact, like my men's size 11. Let's see what the men's size 11 going for. Jordan 4 Black Cat. Here we go. Black Cat 4 is 2020. Men's size 11 is going 700 is the highest bid. Lowest ask is 823. Now, grade school retailed at 140. The lowest grade school, man, size 7, highest bid is 571. Lowest ask is $800. And if memory serves me correct, I don't really remember if the Black Cat sold out, but they didn't have that high of a demand. It wasn't like patent brands. Of course, it wasn't like no cool grades, but it didn't have like that hype that Retro 4s currently have. And to see that grade school Retro 4 Black Cats are going almost $800 lowest ask is crazy. And that's just showing what the future will be for retro fours. So these are literally a year from the Red Thunders, Lightnings, White Oreos. So if history is going to repeat itself, those shoes are eventually, and it could possibly get to the price of these. Now, again, this is a shoe that I never saw get into that price, so I really can't see White Oreos getting a 700-800. Lightnings I can, because they've done it in the past. Red Thunders, maybe around like a $500 price tag. Those UNC fours, I can see those being a $600-700 shoe. But again, go back to Champs. It's just weird that they got this countdown going on Champs currently. And let me click the link to see if it's still there. It's still there. Limited one per person. And let me actually go to Champs on the FLX app to see if they added them on there. Because if it's an online only release, it's over with. They even got them on the FLX app, but they don't have them open for reservation. And I highly doubt that they do open them up for reservation, because this is so weird to have this shoe randomly just restock. Now, again, I'm not looking at this as, oh, they just got a late shipment. This shoe came out 2 years ago. So ain't no late shipment. Excuse for these. I know that these companies are partnered up. These companies are partnered up. Champs is under the Foot Locker umbrella. Foot Locker is under Flight Club, and I want to say Foot Locker and Flight Club and Go work together too. So basically, you got Foot Locker, and under Foot Locker, you got a subdivision of reselling apps or reselling stores like Flight Club and Go, all under this retail umbrella. Let me explain this one more time. Put the phone down. Foot Locker is the umbrella, right? A retail umbrella. Under this retail umbrella, you got East Bay, Kids Foot Locker, Champs, Foot Action, and what's that other just random one that we never even shop at? It's one more. And then on the opposite side of this retail umbrella, you got a resale aspect. So this again why I say it's so hard for us to get shoes when retailers I feel like I'm on the episode of SpongeBob. When retailers become resellers. Again, Foot Locker, umbrella, you got these retail stores, but you also got Foot Locker, who has put money into Flight Club, and Flight Club and Goat work together as well. So they all under the same Foot Locker umbrella. So they could potentially be like, hey man, look, we got these Jordan 4 Black Cats. They've been sitting in these joints busting. Let's just go ahead and get this bread off of these shoes. Because this is so random. But then again, it could honestly be a glitch as well. So all we got to do is wait and see. But I'm curious, honestly, to find out. And of course, these drop the day after my birthday, because y'all already know I've been saying it all week. Your boy will be 31 on the 31st. So these are scheduled to drop February 1st. So that's the Black Cats. And again, sneakers never really sell out. I learned this years ago, and I love to tell this story. My boy Retro Wiz Kid, he went to Shoe Palace in Texas. I want to say this was maybe 2019, and he was able to buy a pair of taxis that dropped in 2013. They still had pairs, and he bought them for retail, which is crazy. 6 years they've been holding on to these shoes. So if you can just imagine 6 years from right now, 2016. So just think that somewhere a Nike or Foot Locker warehouse got shoes from 2016 on up. It's possible. A lot of people be wondering how these Nike outlets randomly be having shoes and randomly be having different retros in stock. Like I seen an image yesterday that some Nike outlets had Space Jams from 2016 in an outlet last year. We seen a lot of crazy dope, including myself. So a lot of crazy dope pickups from last year. Another sneaker, and I'm gonna call this from bricks to gems, because again, a lot of people like to use that terminology, bricks. What about those Air Jordan 4 mushrooms? Y'all remember those? The women's exclusive, the Jordan 4, they call them like Fossil, a mushroom. I remember that those joints was going about $180 to $200 on release day, and these came out in 2019. Now, we all know that some shoes, it take a long time for them to go up in price, and some shoes that dropped in 2019 are still going for retail. Some are going less than retail, some going a little bit over. So it's not always the case where if a shoe dropped years ago that it automatically goes up. That's not the case. But these Jordan 4 mushrooms, I remember specifically, these joints was not moving. Now, look at them, size 12, they asking $625. Size 11 and a half, $647. So these joints is jumping up in price. Shoe that Fine Line brought to my attention because I was just like, bro, man, you remember when we were selling these black cats for the low? And Muggs was still tripping on the price, and then I sent them the image. He was like, bro, black cats ain't never going that high. I'm like, yeah. And then he was like, you want to know another shoe that's busting like that? It's those Air Jordan 4 Olivia Kims. Now, to be honest, the Olivia Kims was more like a black cat style shoe because it had like the pony hair on it. It also had the Nike Air on the back. So these are another one that didn't really move. I remember that I actually took a pair of these Olivia Kims back to the Nike outlet in Chicago because I couldn't do nothing with them. They were going retail or less than retail. Now these joints busting on the scene. Size 12 women, the lowest ask is $12.75. They want more for these than they do for the actual black cats. Now, it could have been one of those instances where, man, look, I can't afford the Olivia Kims no more. Let me just go ahead and grab the black cats. I didn't watch the market longer enough to know which one actually went up quicker in price. Because before Fine Line mentioned it, I forgot all about these. Even my boy Keep Pushing Kicks had hit me up when these dropped and be like, bro, I hit a pair of these. Do you want them? If not, I'm just going to return them because they wasn't moving. Now, I bet you both of us wish that we never did that. Size 11 and a half. Lowest ask is $14.03. And again, these are joints that got the Nike Air on the back. They all black, got like the glossy wing, and they got like that bovine hair. Y'all know what I generally call it, but they got the bovine hair on these joints too. So that goes to show that all the people that was calling these Lightning 4s bricks, hey, they slowly starting to creep back to that $300 price tag. And these joints was sitting. These were sitting in Chicago. I'm talking about you pretty much can go to any store and be able to grab a men or a grade school pair. But now, I'm telling you about summertime, these going to be about $350, $375. By the end of the year, it's going to be a $400 shoe. So, again, terminology from bricks to gems. Because one man's trash, because y'all was calling a lot of these shoes trash, could be another man's treasure. And how it's looking, no shoe is really safe as far as whether or not it's going to eventually go up in price. Because, like, even the Union ones back here, I remember grabbing my Union ones for about $7.80 a pop. It was like, dang, man, I ain't even want to pay that high on these joints. Them Unions going $2,000 a pop. The not for resales busting. Now, of course, those are retro ones, but you even got shoes like the Master 12s. Nobody thought the Master 12s was going to be a $300, $400 shoe. It's an all-black 12. The Air Jordan 9 Breads, the patent leather joints. Another shoe, $350 plus. It's just hard to determine which sneakers are actually going to go up, but it is a trend that I have been noticing with these sneakers. Most all-black Jordans, again, I said this in my live, always go up in price. So just use that as a tool later on down the line to see like if it's worth sitting on. Again, not all of them. It's certain silhouettes. We love 4s, we love 9s, we love 12s, so it's not a surprise. And retro ones, we know it's not a surprise. I'm waiting on Jordan Brand to give us the Air Jordan 3 Black Cats. Give us the Air Jordan 3 Black Cats. Them the joints that I'm waiting for. I'm waiting on those, and I'm honestly looking forward for them to drop it because I want to see if they're going to follow suit with how these Air Jordan 4 Black Cats did. Y'all know I love my 3s more than 4s. So if they do give us the Air Jordan 3 Black Cats, I'm holding them. Especially seeing how these 4s did. I ain't going to let history repeat myself. I will definitely hold on to those because if you held on to your Black Cats, them joints went up like that in 2 years. To be honest, they went up quicker than that in 2 years because at one point they was at like $500-$600 smooth sometime in 2021. So it took about a year for them joints to really get like that, Army. So again, let's just keep our eyes locked on these apps. Let's see if there's going to be some more restocks. I actually like this stuff, and I mentioned that in my video yesterday as far as like the element of surprise. You know, keep surprising us with these random restocks. If I'm being 100% honest with y'all, I do think that this is a glitch. and maybe they're gonna take this away because it was a pair of Air Jordans that were supposed to, let me see, back on January 19th, and I took a screenshot of this on Finish Line JD Sport. They got a pair of Air Jordans that's supposed to be dropping men, grade school, toddlers, and preschool, and I don't know exactly what those retros are. Let me check J23 right quick and see if they got anything dropping on the 5th. They don't. So I'm not sure if they getting these two shoes mixed up. I don't know what's going on. I know a lot of the apps have kind of been off as far as these release dates, putting something up there when it's not supposed to drop. So again, Army, this is just going to be one of those cases where we just, keep our eyes locked and see if these joints are exactly going to drop. So other than that, Army, if you enjoyed this content, make sure you smash that thumbs up. Again, subscribe to the channel. And you got your boy Unbreakable. You got the Unbreakable Vote. Unbreakable Army stands strong like always. Most importantly, hug your loved ones and, of course, remain humble. And we out.
I hit Unbreakable for the uses. He the plug, call him when I need him. These old's tough, but he get him easy. Yours old, him first season. The most beefy, looking like two lefts. Two lefts, cause your ass taking nail.